This is football. Not the score sheet, not the transfer fee, not the fantasy league points. This moment, 60,000 strangers deciding, without a vote, without an announcement, that right now they are one single thing. You can't buy that. You can't schedule it, and you cannot, no matter how many stadiums you build, no matter how many billion-dollar TV deals you sign, you cannot manufacture it. America, I love you, but we need to talk. Because right now, you are trying to host the greatest sporting event in human history, and I'm not sure you know what it actually is. In America, sport is entertainment. It's something you consume on a Sunday with a beer between advertisements. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. The NFL is a masterpiece of entertainment. But football, what the rest of the world calls football, is not entertainment. It is identity. It is inheritance. It is the thing your grandfather explained to you in a language you were still learning. When Napoli won the Serie A title in 2023, grown men wept in the streets. Not because they won a championship, because their fathers had never seen it. Their grandfathers had died waiting for it. That is not sport. That is generational grief and joy, compressed into 90 minutes. America has had the NFL for over 100 years. But can you name me a moment, a single moment, where an American football result stopped a civil war? Because football can do that. Football has done that. 2005. Ivory Coast is in the middle of a brutal civil war. The country is split in two. Government forces in the south, rebels in the north. People are dying. Then, Didier Drogba and his teammates qualify for the World Cup, the first time in the country's history. And Drogba drops to his knees on a dressing room floor on live television, and he begs his country to lay down their weapons, to stop fighting, just for a moment, just to enjoy this. And they did. 2 years later, they moved a home match to Bouake, the rebel stronghold. Mortal enemies sat side by side in those stands, cheering for the same 11 men. Because for 90 minutes, the crest on the jersey mattered more than which side of the conflict you were on. Tell me, what sport in America has ever done that? What sport could do that? That's the difference. Not tactics, not athleticism, soul. Now, I am not here to simply mock America. That would be too easy, and frankly, beneath the sport. What I am here to do is diagnose, because 2026 is coming, and the world is coming with it. And if America doesn't understand what it's actually holding, if it treats the World Cup like the Super Bowl with more flags, it will waste the single greatest opportunity any sporting nation has ever been handed. So, let's go deeper. Here is the great American football paradox. The more America invests in football, the less it seems to understand it. MLS has poured billions into infrastructure. They've hired world-class players, Messi, Beckham, Pirlo, Henry. They've built pristine stadiums with perfect grass and jumbotrons and every amenity you could want. And the atmosphere is fine. Fine is the death of football. Football is not meant to be fine. Football is meant to be uncomfortable. Football is meant to make you nervous before the match and shattered after it. The stadium should smell like beer and tension. The man next to you should be a stranger you will never see again, but who you will hug if that ball goes in. America optimized the experience, and in doing so, it removed the experience. Then there's the television problem. American sports broadcasting is extraordinary television. It really is. The production values, the analysis, the storytelling, it is world class for American sports. But American broadcasters don't know what to do with football, because football has the audacity to play 45 minutes without a commercial break. There are no timeouts, there's no padding. You cannot fill the empty space because there is no empty space. The empty space is the tension. So what do? They talk, they fill, they analyze the build-up before the build-up to the build-up. They put clocks and graphics on a game that specifically has no clock visible to the players. They interview managers before the players have even reached the tunnel. Football has silence. Long, agonizing, beautiful silence where nothing happens and everything is possible. America has not yet learned to love that silence.
But the deepest problem isn't the TV, it's the fans. Or rather, it's what America thinks a fan is. In America, being a fan is something you switch on. You buy the jersey, you go to the game, you support your team. And then the season ends and you move on to the next sport. Baseball season, football season, basketball season. You are a consumer of sport, moving through the calendar. In the rest of the world, a football supporter is not a consumer. They are a constituent. The club owes them something. The club belongs to them in some spiritual sense that no ownership structure can override. When German fans protested the Bundesliga scheduling games at 6:30 p.m. on a Friday, which would make it impossible for working fans to attend, they didn't just complain online. They threw tennis balls onto pitches. They held silent protests. They staged boycotts. And the league listened. Because in Germany, in England, in Argentina, the fans are not the audience. They are the product. You cannot have the Premier League without the atmosphere. You cannot have La Liga without the noise. The fans are not there to watch the game, they are the game. In America, franchises move cities and fans just find a new team. The Oakland Raiders became the Las Vegas Raiders. Life goes on. In England, if you tried to move a club out of its founding city, you'd have a genuine public order situation because you would be stealing an identity. You would be tearing something out of the community that cannot be replaced. America has not yet had its heart broken by football. And until it does, it cannot truly understand it. Now, and here's where the football uncle puts an arm around your shoulder. There are signs of hope. Portland's Timbers Army, Atlanta United, who somehow filled a 70,000-seat stadium in their first season, the RCK in Cincinnati. There are American fans who absolutely get it, who have built authentic supporter culture, who stand for 90 minutes, who write songs, who show up through relegation battles in lower leagues. These people exist. They are American, and they understand football. The question is, are they the future of American football culture? Or are they a passionate minority that gets drowned out every time a corporate entertainment machine decides it knows better? When Messi arrived at Inter Miami, the world watched. The marketing was immaculate. The coverage was extraordinary. And then the camera cut to the stands, and you saw people filming on phones, looking confused about when to cheer, wearing merchandise they bought an hour before. Messi deserved better than that. The game deserved better than that. So America doesn't feel football. America commodifies it. And now, in 2026, America is being asked to host it. This is the ultimate test. Let me put the 2026 World Cup in perspective for you. The FIFA World Cup is the most watched sporting event in human history. The 2022 final between Argentina and France was watched by over 1.5 billion people. Not in America, not in Europe, on Earth. 5 billion people watched some portion of Qatar 2022. That is more than half of every human being alive. And in 2026, all of that religious, cultural, generational, identity-defining passion is going to arrive in American cities. Cities that have never experienced anything like it. In a country that still, at an institutional level, calls football soccer. Soccer. A word the rest of the world finds somewhere between baffling and insulting. Not because it's wrong, it's actually a perfectly logical English derivation, but because of what it signals. It signals that this game is something other, something foreign, something less. And in 2026,
The people who have bled for this sport their entire lives are going to visit a host nation that literally calls their religion by a diminutive nickname.
And then there is the situation that, more than anything else, reveals the tension at the heart of this tournament. Iran's national team, Team Melli, they qualified. They did the work, they earned their place at the table through grueling qualification matches, through the dedication of players who have spent their careers preparing for exactly this moment. And because of US-Iran diplomatic tensions, they were forced to base their camp in Tijuana, Mexico, crossing the border only on match days, sleeping and training in another country just to participate in a tournament hosted next door. Think about that. These are athletes. They didn't write the sanctions, they didn't draft the foreign policy. They are football players, some of the finest in Asia, who simply want to compete. And they are doing everything humanly possible to make sure the football still happens. Flying across an international border just to play a match, navigating visa crises on match days, living with uncertainty that would crush most professional preparations. And they are doing it because the game matters that much. Just as Drogba crossed a conflict line to take football to Bouake, Team Melli is crossing a geopolitical border to bring football to Los Angeles and Seattle. The spirit is identical. The dedication is identical. The question is, will the host country see that, or will it only see the politics? Because right now, in America, the political class is using the World Cup as a chess piece. Boycotts, protests, arguments over which teams deserve to be here, which governments are acceptable, whose politics are pure enough to kick a football in an American city. And I understand the instinct. I do. These are real conflicts with real victims. The world is not a simple place. But when you use the World Cup as a weapon, when you threaten boycotts or restrict access, you are not hurting the governments you disagree with. You are punishing the 8-year-old in Tehran who stayed up until 2 a.m. to watch his country play. You are punishing the grandmother in Accra who has waited 20 years for Ghana to be at a World Cup. You are punishing the ordinary human being who has absolutely nothing to do with geopolitics and everything to do with football. That is what America, at an institutional level, does not yet understand about football. Football is not the property of governments. It is the property of people. And the people always deserve the game. Drogba knew that, and he had a civil war for contact.
But here is what excites me. Here is why I'm a football uncle and not a football enemy. In 1994, America hosted the World Cup, and no one expected anything. The country didn't have a professional league, barely anyone knew the rules. And it produced the highest average attendance in World Cup history. Still the record, still unbeaten. Because Americans, when they are in the presence of something genuine, respond to it. They may not have the vocabulary yet, they may not know the songs, but they feel the electricity. They feel the stakes, and they want in. 2026 could be that again. Amplified
Welcome back to the
30
stadium.
years of football culture slowly building, slowly embedding itself into American sporting life. An entire generation of Americans who grew up playing the game, who went to MLS matches, who watched the Premier League on Saturday mornings, who fell in love with it, quietly, without anyone's permission. Those people are ready. Those people understand. The question is whether the country, the institutions, the media, the political class, the corporate machine, will get out of their way and let them have their moment. America doesn't understand football. Not yet. Not at the level that matters. Not at the soul level, the religion level, the I inherited this and I will pass it on level. But 2026 is the exam. And exams can be passed.
The world is coming. 63 million fans will visit your country carrying 40 years of devotion in their hearts. They will bring their songs, their flags, their grief, and their joy, and their complete inability to explain to you why this matters so much. Because it just does. It always has, and it always will. What you do with that, whether you see it, whether you receive it with the respect it deserves, will define American football for a generation. No pressure.